It's exactly 6:30. We will tell you what's trending, but first, let's capture some of the headlines in the newspapers.
And straight away, we have to hit your screens with the front page of the daily graphic. This has been summarized on the news portal, myjoyonline.com. Very easy for you to get access. You just go to your window, you go to the tax bar, and then make sure you click myjoyonline.com, www. You do that, and then you get to the page. But daily graphic has the lead story on the front page. Kombian to die by hanging for killing policeman. And we know that Johnson Kombian, the armed robber, notorious armed robber who was convicted, is sentenced to death by hanging by the Fast Track High Court for killing 2 policemen at Nangpanduri in the northern region. Also on the front page of the Daily Graphic, NDC rather accuses MPP of engaging in tribal politics. And we have NLT meets government doctors over strike. And the last story featured on the front page prominently is Gibbs launches instant bank transfers. The next paper we're looking at is the Daily Guide. The Daily Guide has a lead story on the front page. Police killer Kombian sentenced to death by hanging, and that already has been well explained and captured on the front page of the early paper we're looking at, Daily Graphic. NDC also fined for Togolese voters. Very interesting. He says General Secretary of the NDC, Johnson Esiedin Ketia, has mounted a spirited defense. I love some of the words. Spirited defense, nice adjective, for the existing voters registered many Ghanaians believe is flawed. And so I guess the argument will continue, especially following that very press conference that was convened by the MPP on Tuesday. And doctors defy minister. Despite all the calls, following that very press conference by the health minister, the doctors should go back to the health facility. They have refused, and we move up. We have the Business Finder has on the front page 23,300 workers laid off, textile industry dying. And from a massive workforce of some 25,000 in the 1970s, according to the very report, the textile industry now employs only a paltry sum, 1,700 workers. Business Finder has already confirmed in its news report. Trouble awaits weak bank in December. Weaker banks that are having liquidity challenges could be in trouble when the depositors insurance scheme takes off by December this year. Public debt to hit 115 billion, I believe he wanted to say. Okay, 115 million. It says total public debt says skyrocket further with the 25 billion Ghana city government intends to raise through bonds and treasury bills from both investors and some commercial banks in the second half of this year. Front page of the Today newspaper, NDC jabs MPP over bloated voters register. And we need total electoral reforms, according to the PPP. And the PPP has underscored the need for a complete overhaul of the country's electoral system. And so those are the summaries of the stories we have on the front page of the various newspapers, as summarized by the news portal, myjoyonline.com. You have a couple of stories you would want to look at on the various news portals as well?
Definitely. I'm making a quick run to myjoyonline.com, the website proper. I'll do the Ghana News Agency, CTFM Online, and the 2 international stories that you did mention. You mentioned Egypt. I'm also going to bring you a bit on Oscar Pistorius. So let's start with myjoyonline.com. Here are some of the headlines on the page. NLC issues directive to doctors to call off 3-week-old strike. No amount of money will make me go nude. That's what Peace Hyde is saying. That story also on the website. Government bans movement of poultry products feed from Accra. This we detailed for you in our AM News. Ghana hosts Glow Dance with Peter audition. Okay, so amongst other stories here on the website, NPP behaving like JHS kids, fishing for a formula for forged answers. Amazing. Who else could say this? But General Mosquito, details on the website. Government bans movement of poultry products feed from Accra. Yes, I've mentioned that already. So let's quickly see what the Ghana News Agency is also reporting on their websites. Supreme Court awards costs against Unicoff. Patronage of made in Ghana products we're told is high in the Volta region. That's some good news. Fuel deregulation generates OMC price tussle at more than $62 million earmarked to promote export trade. These among other stories on the website of the Ghana News Agency. Let's do CTFM Online. We can do without our salaries. That's what the Ghana Medical Association is saying. prosecute Togolese voters. That's a deputy minority leader in parliament making that call, Dominic Nitiwu. NPP says Volta region was not singled out, and NPP's Togolese voters register claims from space. Let's do the Egypt story. So I'm picking this from the website, thebbc.com. A state security building in northern Cairo was hit by a car bomb in the early hours of Thursday morning. Egypt's interior ministry says 6 policemen were said to have been injured by the explosion in the northern Shubra district of the city. There were no report of any deaths. But on to this one, and then we'll make way for more sport news. Oscar Pistorius, he was set to be released and kept in-house on Friday, but that has been blocked. South Africa's Justice Minister has blocked the early release of athletes Oscar Pistorius from prison on Friday. He said the decision by the parole board to free the athletes after serving 10 months of his 5-year sentence was premature and without legal basis. It could now take months for the board to review its decision, legal sources told the BBC. So a lot more African stories on the website. For me, these are some of the highlights. So, but if you want some more news, you can just log on to myjoyonline.com. That will be it. Stay with us. A lot more coming your way.
We'll be right back.